This project is about my dad because he was very important to me and he has experienced much. My father, Eduardo Morales, was born in Nicaragua in 1951. He grew up during the beginnings of the Cold War. He was the average third world country boy who helped to support his family. In 1972, an earthquake measuring 6.2, later named the Manawa earthquake, struck, killing thousands and leaving hundreds of thousands homeless. It was a terrible earthquake that left many people traumatized and decapitated. My dad was 21. My dad married my mom in 1978 at the age of 27, the same year that he later moved to Honduras because of the war in Nicaragua between Sandinistas and the Somoza government. El Frente Sandinista de Liberación Nacional, or the Sandinista National Liberation Front, was a communist group that eventually overthrew the government in 1979. We left Nicaragua because the Sandinistas were winning the fight against the government, and because my company offered me a deal to go to Honduras. And so I did. Also, we were scared because gunfire could always be heard, and the sides were drafting kids from schools, says my dad.
ABC News has obtained exclusive pictures of the fighting along the border with Honduras, which the government here said again today was a legitimate attempt to expel the Contras.
The Nicaraguan troops are now in Nicaraguan territory in the border area. The Contras that were in the border area, and now they are inside Honduras.
Some of the 56 Soviet-made helicopters in the Sandinista Air Force were used to transport troops over the heavily jungled terrain. In 11 days of fighting, the Sandinistas drove the Contras back. The Sandinistas were supported by rocket launchers of the type used by communist forces in Vietnam. The operation appears to have been aimed at Contra camps a few hundred yards on the Honduras side of the Coco River, as well as others deeper inside the country. With ABC News camera crews, this reporter was in those camps twice last year. Contrary to Sandinista claims that Nicaraguan troops never crossed into Honduras, the video appears to show otherwise. Here, the Sandinistas are destroying what appear to be those same Contra camps.
In 1984, after having spent around 6 years in Honduras, my family immigrated to Los Angeles, California, seeking a life away from the communist Sandinistas, violence, and poverty. My dad was then 33. In 1989, at the age of 38, my dad bought his first house with my mom. That same year, the Berlin Wall fell and the Cold War was just about done. In 1992, at the age of 41, my dad experienced the entirety of the LA riots. The riots started with the beating of Rodney King and the tape that followed. People saw the tape and started looting liquor stores for beer and alcohol. But there was no rioting in where we lived, mostly just fires and looting along Crenshaw and the streets in that area. And that same night, I saw liquor store owners protecting their stores with machine guns on the news. They were trying to scare looters from the top of their roofs. After the riots, businesses were burned, so people had to go to other places, and the areas that had the riots got abandoned.
There's not a lot of it around here right now.
Do you have any a sign of National Guard moving in their vehicles or not? Have you seen any?
Not where I am, no. I don't.
Marta, question, is there any talk among the people on the side of the street there in terms of the curfew? They are aware of it, they will abide by it. Have you heard any discussions about that?
No, and this is a situation that is becoming too dangerous to stay in. We will get back to you in a little bit.
Okay, Marta, we'll see you a little bit later then.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a video that we want to show you now concerning some of the activity that has taken place in some of the Korean-owned businesses. Now, this is unedited videotape, so what you are seeing we have not had a chance to change at all. This videotape is taken where there are many Korean businesses. There have been tensions, as you know, between the Korean and black communities, especially after the black girl was shot and was killed by a Korean grocer who claimed that she was shoplifting. The Koreans are on their roofs, evidently armed, we have been informed, trying to protect, well, I guess that's evidence right there.
You can see them.
Trying to protect their businesses from any contingency.
In 2001, at the age of 50, my dad heard about the terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers in New York, and fear shot through him for my sister, his daughter, who was in New York City at the time. Now, my dad is 58 and history is happening. The first black president has been voted into office. The war in the Middle East continues. And global warming is becoming a big problem, along with other world issues.